please go through all the normal stuff. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up button if you like what you see, and stay tuned this weekend. I'm sure the lads and lasses will have lots of content coming your way with some non-league action and more. So again, just going to give a quick match prediction thoughts and share what I think about it. Starting with it, the presser. Nothing major because I'm not going to talk about the Isak drama. Lord knows it's been covered. I think I've already kind of indicated my opinions, so I'm not going to kill anyone with my thoughts on it and beat it to death. One of the things I thought was kind of funny in the usual antidotes with Eddie, a little bit on the game, he talked about Jacob Ramsey and if anything in his game surprised him, and he just responded by saying that he's taller and bigger than he thought, which was funny. So, anyways, I thought that was entertaining to me. But let's get into the game. Like I said, this is a prediction and preview from my perspective. And hopefully I'll be doing more of these. Again, also stay tuned as the season goes on. Monday, in particular, I will be doing an instant match reaction. So after the game, please join me. We'll be doing a guest call-in show. Maybe somebody else will be joining us from the channel, but it will just give Lee some time to gather his at-the-match content and go from there. But before we get into it, Simon Hooper will be the official for the game on Monday night. And let's get into the preview of our opponent. Obviously, it's Liverpool, and I think this needs no introduction. A little bit that I've been kind of watching and seeing in channels around from the opponents and stuff like that. One of the things I thought was interesting was their injury situation. I was not aware of it, but they're actually in a little bit of a struggle, especially on their back line. So apparently versus Bournemouth, which they did win in dramatic fashion on the opening game, they lost Frimpong to some hamstring tightness. Doesn't appear to be anything massive. I think some of the reports I saw was him mid-September, but this isn't a Liverpool channel. We don't care about that. The important thing is hopefully he will not be on today, or sorry, on Monday, I should say. Also interesting, his natural backup would then be Connor Bradley, but Connor Bradley is also doubtful per a lot of reports I was seeing. So interestingly, that leaves it with potentially Joe Gomez, or I even heard some Liverpool fans saying that Szoboszlai might play there, which I've never heard of him playing there, and maybe he has. I don't know, but maybe something we can take advantage of. The only thing that's unfortunate is unlikely that Gordon is there on the left to take advantage of that. But anyways, that is what it sounds like might be from their injury situation. I mean, obviously their form, they had a decent preseason, and also their form was a win versus Bournemouth 4-2 with the 2 late goal heroics. Another thing, sorry, I actually forgot, my ADD brain in some of the notes I took, was that McAllister is apparently coming back to full fitness too, per some reports I was reading. So interesting to see what will happen there. Lastly, on their end, and then let's get to Newcastle again. This is a Newcastle show. Predicted lineup per, I think I got this from Yahoo Sports, was Alisson in goal, Gomez, Kanate, Van Dijk, Kerkez in the back, Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, and then you've got Salah, Wirtz, Gakpo, and Ekitike. Is that one too many names? I feel like that's an extra name there. 4, 2. Yeah, no, that's right. So, anyways, that's what their lineup. But on to my thoughts on Newcastle. Obviously, our form coming into the game is a draw off of Villa, but I think it was a very, very strong performance. I apologize I wasn't able to do a live stream after the opening games reaction. Would have been very curious to see your thoughts. My thoughts was I was heavily impressed. It did not look like a team with everything surrounding all the circumstances this summer. did not look like a team devoid of unity and things like that that I feared you may see. It looked like a team resolute, especially at a tough Villa Park where we've been embarrassed before in recent memory. So I was very pleased with the performance. Obviously, it has to be said that we wanted to see a win, but I still was heavily thrilled with that. So our form coming into the game versus Liverpool is looking strong in my opinion, at least from a performance perspective. Obviously, he who shall not be named will not be present, and that continues to be a hole and a problem. But the other good news is, unlike Liverpool, injury front, we're looking good. Per Eddie in the press conference, Joe Willock has been back at training, so that just gives us more depth on the bench, which is always good news. So, for me, this is how I think we will line up. And bear with me one second. I'm just going to share my screen, and then it should hopefully load a bit better. So hopefully this will come through for you guys nicely. So to me, I think this is going to be a classic game where it suits us to play five at the back, especially with our full fitness and Botman coming back to speed. So to me, I think knowing Eddie, this isn't a game to mix it up. So I think we obviously go Pope in the back instead of Ramsdale. As much as I would love to see Hall, again, I don't think Eddie's going to say that Hall's quite ready for a starter. So I think it's going to be Trippier, and then I think it's going to be Mr. Livramento out wide. Then, like I said, I think they're gonna play five at the back. So I think it's going to be Mr. Fabian Schär. It's going to be Mr. Botman in the middle, and Big Dan Burn here. Again, I think that way you can get in Botman, who has had some more game time. I think it's too early for Chow. I think we could maybe see him as a sub appearance, possibly depending on the game and how it's going. But I think this is our back five. Deal with my awful clicking and dragging. But that is what I see for that. Then, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put kind of the positions I think it'll be while we're in possession. Then in possession, our midfield, I think, is going to be our usual Tonali and Bruno and Joe Linton. And then I think, and hear me out, again, I specified that I think this is what will be in possession. I specify that because I think we will start Jacob Murphy, and I'll explain why I think that in a moment. And then I think it'll be Gordon up front, and then Mr. Barnes out left. So this is how I think we're going to line up. Again, hopefully Gordon can have some more success. Eddie talked a bit about it in the press conference, and I think there were some positives from his game versus Villa. Obviously, he's not the same as Isak up there or a recognized out-and-out number striker, but I think all in all, not terrible. But the reason why I say that I think Murphy will start over Elanga in this game has nothing to do with I think Elanga having a poor performance. I think it will be a tactical decision because I think when out of possession, like Eddie often does against the big teams, I think we're going to kind of compress into a 5-4-2, or even maybe like a 5-5-1, like we've seen us do sometimes. And I think it's going to be something like this because Murphy has the legs and the defensive responsibility. I also think Trippier is going to need some help because Trippier doesn't have the legs sometimes. So getting pressed down the left, I think will be important to have Jacob Murphy there. So that's what I think we'll do. I think it'll allow us to have a springboard for some nice counterattacks. And then the biggest thing with this, and I think the beauty of having this be our starting lineup, and I will switch us back so you can see my lovely mug, is part of why I think we'll do this, or not part of why, I already explained why we'll do it, but the main thing that I think that I like about this is then think about who we've still got on the bench. And that has been one of the biggest things that's killed us. We will have Alanga that could come on to make a difference. We'll have Jacob Ramsey, who, again, Eddie said could be a possibility to appear in the game, depending on the game state. Hopefully, Joe Willock, again, with his fitness, might be an ability to come on. Again, I'm not saying that any of these match their depth, but let's think about it in contrast to where we've been. I think that's better depth that we can have. Again, heaven forbid any injury scares or whatever in our back line. You've got Chow and Lascelles to come on, who I think are strong. Even Kraft could potentially be sitting on the bench to come on. Hall, hopefully on the bench, possibly someone that could come on. And even our favorite and the one we all wish the best, Mr. Asula, could come on. Again, not saying that competes with Liverpool's bench or some other side's benches, but I think we need to be frank and look. If that was our starting 11, which I just showed, and then we've got those kind of people last year to bring on, I think that's an upgrade, because some of those players that were on the bench that I'm predicting might be on the bench could be depth. And who knows? Maybe we don't go 5 at the back. So that changes everything too, because then you could potentially have a Burn or a Botman on the bench to come on if needed. So there's all kinds of things to possibly mess around with this formation and give us more depth. So that's one of the biggest things that excites me. So with all of that being said, let's get on to my prediction. My prediction is I think it's going to be an exciting 2-2 draw. I think it's going to be a Newcastle go up early, probably first 20-minute goal, I think. And I then think that it will be 2 goals from Liverpool, and then I think we'll get an equalizer to make it an exciting and dramatic draw, and one that we feel proud of. I did say a few weeks ago that actually I thought, whoops, did I accidentally put on 12 players? 5, 4. Whoops, I did accidentally put on 12 players. I'm an absolute doofus, so bear with me on that. If I'm going to drop someone from that, I would say we'll leave Joe Linton off there, and he could be a sub there. Or actually, no, I changed my mind. Thinking on the fly, I apologize. I'll go Joe Linton because he has done that wing job before. So maybe then leave Barnes to come on. Listen, the beauty of this, I know I'm going to laugh about this later, that I just put 12 players on the pitch. Obviously, you could only put on 11. Anyways, where I was on that, and thank you, Kevin, for pointing that out to me. Where I was going with this is I think it'll be an exciting 2-2 draw. I think Gordon will get a goal, and I think Tonali will get a goal. But I think one of the important things that is going to play into this game, I know it's a cliche, but I think it's going to be about the home fans and the atmosphere of St. James's Park. And to be honest, I don't think there could be in any better moment for this game, like time of day and everything. I think we're going to be right up for it. And I don't doubt the Geordies at all that you guys are going to make us proud. I know Lee has alluded that it's going to be hopefully a very good war flags display. So all these things to me, I think is going to give us a lot of energy. And we do tend to have that energy for big games and big nights like this. The only thing to kind of even the odds and play on the other side that could be a possible negative if history is saying, but it is because we have kind of that monkey with Liverpool. Obviously, we did beat them in the cup, but with the exception of the cup, Eddie, that was the last team I think that Eddie needed to finally beat. Well, actually, no, it's not the last one because I don't think, or no, we have beaten Bournemouth in a cup game. So if you count all competitions, I think Eddie has now beat every team since he's taken over. And yeah, hey John, I know it's very late on New Tyneside. I'm kind of recording this and was hoping it was going to be kind of pre-recorded content, but hey, we went with it. I'm new and I'm learning, so hopefully you enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in. But final thoughts, like I said, 2-2 draw. And I think it will be great and exciting. Other things to keep an eye out for this weekend, since it'll be a bit quieter and it's a bank holiday. I know over in the UK is hit up that the U18s will be in action versus Wolves away. If that's your kind of thing and you like supporting the lads as well, that will, or I should say the Bairns, you can check them out. The Lasses are not in action yet, so that'll be soon. But I'm sure Lee and Joe will be doing some non-league coverage in the area as usual. I'm sure there'll be a North Shields video, maybe another Wrighton video. So stay tuned to the channel for a lot more. Yeah, maybe we'll be doing some more late ones, John. Shout out to you, buddy. I'm on U.S. time, so I don't know time zone. Maybe there might be some later ones. We'll see. But like I said, the intention was actually for this to be kind of a recorded, as I'm new to the channel and learning and just trying to put out some content to help the channel. So anyways, it's been a pleasure. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you again, Kevin, for pointing out that I'm a total idiot and put 12 players on the pitch. Sorry, making myself look like a total dumb American and that doesn't know the game. But anyways, I think it's going to be a great game. Please stay tuned for all kinds of content this weekend, all sorts of reactions. And also, again, if you can, live match reaction on Monday. I will be hosting a live show. It will be hopefully a fan call-in show. I'm working with Lee on that, but I'm pretty sure it'll be a live call-in show. So if you feel comfortable like we've done in other shows, we'll put a link in the description. You can call in and give us your thoughts. And we're going to try and make that a regular this season as I'm getting up to speed. So awesome. It's been great. Thank you, John. Thank you, Kevin. And I saw a few others lurking at the wee hours of the morning. But enjoy your Saturday, and we will talk soon. Away the lads.